Something doesn't add up here, and once you notice it, you can't unsee it. For years, Donald Trump has insisted that he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. That's been the story. Clean, simple, decisive. He saw something wrong and acted. But then a document resurfaces, not a rumor, not speculation, a legal communication from years ago. And in it, Trump's own side says Epstein was never expelled, not removed, not banned, maybe a guest, but never asked to leave. That's not a small inconsistency. That's a complete reversal. So now the question shifts. If something that specific doesn't line up, what else doesn't? And just as that question starts gaining traction, something else explodes into the spotlight. This time, live on television. It's a late-night show. Lights, music, applause. The kind of setting where everything feels controlled, predictable, almost rehearsed. Jimmy Kimmel stands center stage, smiling, relaxed, ready to host what looks like another routine interview. Then Trump walks in, confident, smiling, playing to the crowd like he's done 1,000 times before. He waves, he nods, he soaks in the applause. For a moment, it feels like the usual performance. The handshake is firm, the jokes start light, the audience laughs. But underneath it all, something feels off. Kimmel keeps it casual at first. Questions about the White House, about success, about winning. Trump responds exactly how you'd expect. Strong, confident, dismissing criticism, painting a picture of everything running perfectly. Then the tone shifts. Kimmel brings up everyday struggle, rent, groceries, jobs, the kind of things people feel every day. Trump brushes it off, says the economy is booming, stronger than ever. And that's when Kimmel does something subtle but sharp. He introduces a poll, real viewers, real responses, people saying they're struggling more than before. The reaction is instant. The room splits. Some clap, some shake their heads. The energy changes. You can feel it building. Then comes another layer. A document appears on the screen behind them, an alleged internal memo, something suggesting efforts to reshape how the public sees economic reality. Trump doesn't hesitate, calls it fake, a forgery, another attack. The word fake lands hard, but this time it doesn't reset the room like it usually does, because Kimmel doesn't argue. He stays calm, offers Trump a chance to dispute it later. No shouting, no interruption. And that's when something shifts again. Trump's tone tightens, faster, sharper, more defensive. So Kimmel pivots. He changes direction completely and asks about Ivanka Trump. And just like that, everything softens. Trump smiles again, talks about her success, her intelligence, her achievements. His voice relaxes, the tension fades, even the audience quiets down. For a moment, it feels like the storm has passed, but it hasn't, because Kimmel lets that calm settle, lets the room breathe. And then, quietly, he drops a single phrase, piece of ass. No buildup. No warning. The effect is instant. Silence. Complete silence. Trump's expression changes immediately. The smile disappears. His face tightens. He stands up, visibly shaken. What did you just say? The room reacts all at once. Gasps, noise, phones rising into the air. But Kimmel doesn't move, doesn't raise his voice. I didn't say it, he replies. You did. That's the moment everything flips. Trump pushes back, calls it a large an attack, something fabricated. But Kimmel is already ready. A clip rolls, old radio audio, a younger Trump's voice, a comment about Ivanka, followed by a line that lands even harder, suggesting that if she weren't his daughter, he might date her. The reaction is immediate and uncomfortable. Groans ripple through the audience. Trump tries to brush it off, says it's old, taken out of context, just talk. But then another clip appears, this time on video. Same tone, same implication, different setting. Now the reaction intensifies. People shift in their seats. Some stand, others shout. The room is no longer divided. It's leaning, hard. Trump raises his voice again, calls it a joke, a compliment twisted into something else. But the clips don't disappear. They sit there, unmoving, unarguable. Kimmel leans in, but still calm, reminding him these are his words, public, recorded, repeated. Then comes another layer, leaked audio. A former insider claims that comments like these were not isolated, that they were known and quietly dismissed behind the scenes. Trump fires back instantly, calls it fake again, political interference, fabrication. But now the strategy is starting to crack because Kimmel isn't escalating. He's stacking one piece at a time. Then comes the turning point. A forensic analyst joins the discussion, calm, technical, methodical, explains that the clips, radio, television, recordings, show no signs of manipulation, no edits, no AI tampering. They're consistent, authentic. That's when the shift becomes visible. Trump's energy changes. The anger doesn't disappear, but something underneath it does. Certainty. Kimmel reads one more statement, a sworn account suggesting efforts to suppress stories, deny everything, label it all fake. This time, Trump doesn't interrupt right away. He pauses, looks at Kimmel, and for the first time all night, his voice lowers, says the entire situation was set up, planned, designed to humiliate him. Kimmel doesn't argue, doesn't celebrate. I didn't create the clips, he says. They were already there. And just like that, the noise drops again. Not completely, but enough. Trump looks around, the room, the audience, the screen behind him. Then he says something unexpected. You won tonight. Not loudly, not dramatically, just enough to be heard. But it doesn't end there because almost immediately he pivots back, calling it unfair, rigged, another attack. And then he walks off. No closing moment, no handshake, just a door closing behind him. The chair stays empty, under the spotlight. And that image, that silence, hits harder than anything that came before. The crowd doesn't know how to react at first. Then it erupts. Cheers, booing, confusion, noise from every direction. But Kimmel doesn't chase it. He steps forward, looks at the empty chair, and delivers one final line. When the evidence gets too real, now the excuse is AI did it. Some people laugh, others don't, because the tone has shifted again, from spectacle to something heavier. Kimmel glances back at the chair and quietly reminds the room, those clips still exist. Those words are still there. And no matter how loud things get, they're not going away. For a moment, everything slows. Because the loudest part of the night wasn't the shouting. It wasn't the accusation. It was what came after. An empty seat, a room full of witnesses, and a set of words that refused to stay buried. And now the bigger question isn't just what was said, it's why it's all coming back right now.